the South Yorkshire derby. How the preparations gone for this game this week?
Yes, as first we are looking forward to play against Hillsborough. So we like to play our fans. Last game that we did we played very well. We did a fantastic game in the derby also against Leeds. It's good back home again. It's good feel the presence of our fans. Something important about last game, and I said to my players to don't forget after the game, even we lose, even we are not in good position, most of the fans stay waiting from the players to give applause to them, and these kind of things make me, to me, and I think to my players, I'm sure about my players, feel very deep these kind of sensations, because it's is a tribute of love of the club, and when you are not in good way, you lose one game and you wait for the players to tribute them, because they recognize that all the players give the maximum. Is why I said also after the game, and I said often that the fans of Sheffield Wednesday, they are special, and what we must do on Saturday is continues to do what we did in the last game. Try to play with 10 players. This will be important, with the same attitude, with same heart. If you can do better, fantastic, and pay to the tribute that the fans gave to us, to my players in the last game. Is what we have in our heart to the game on Saturday. Understanding that it will be not an easy game. It's a derby. The team is very organized. They don't play football, typical English football. It's a team that try to play. So it will be an interesting game. And like all the derbies, it's important that we'll be focused. We'll be completely focused in the game. The things that we must do, and wait and have sure that we can have a good support, because we need a restart again. We are in 16th position in this moment, is a reality, and we must and we want try hard to jump positions as soon as possible.
Kieran Westwood, your goalkeeper, after the game on Saturday, tweeted stressing the need for everybody to stay together after a bit of a disagreement in the stand. How important is that going to be at a time like this, and what was your reaction to what Kieran tweeted after that match?
Oh, I think it will be crucial that, as I mentioned before, that the signal that the fans gave, the players did what they must do. They play hard. They play with a heart. They did a very good reaction after the last defeat or the previous game. Unfortunately, the circumstances of the game and incidents of the game was very complicated to us. But everybody felt in that moment, not me and my players and chairman, fans, everybody felt that we back again in that game with a heart, with quality, playing with a big commitment. And my players knows also that we must push to the fans. It's something that we must do. We must push to the fans. To the Sheffield Wednesday, what we must do all the time, give the maximum. When you give the maximum, even like the last game, the things is not, the results is not like we want. But when the people recognize that you give the maximum, is halfway to the fans recognize, and halfway also to win, because we know that we have quality, we know that we have organization, and sometimes we talked before, the mentality is not absolutely focused in all the games. Is why we are inconsistent so far, and we are working hard to put everybody more focused, more ready, and I wait a good answer on Saturday.
The chairman spoke last night and he said that you have his 100% backing as head coach. Was that important, do you think, for him to say that at a time like this?
You asked me this before. I told also in the press that this kind of questions we never put inside. You know that chairman is a person that give a privilege he like the relationships with a long time. It's something that he appreciates. It's why he don't sell to many players. He try to keep the players because he try to don't manage the Sheffield Wednesday like a business. He's trying to manage the Sheffield Wednesday like a family. So it's why you can understand why you have sometimes good offers to one or another player. You don't want to sell the players because you want to keep everybody together. So he's trying to do all the time this. When I know the mentality, it's not a big surprise to me, I must tell you, because you know that we are here with a big commitment with the club. And when you are in the big commitment with the club and working hard, and you know that the people know that you have quality because you put the team to play with the quality, it's not when you have a relationship that you have a bad moment that you must change the things and you must change something. This is the easy thing to do all the time. So in the period in 2 years and something that we are here, we was with a not good period at this moment, is a reality. But we are doing well, in my opinion, since we arrived with the quality, with commitment, we put everybody together. And in these moments that can happen in the life, because if it was easy, probably I was not the second coach with more time in the club. So if it was easy, nothing happened. After Mick from Ipswich, I'm the manager in the club with more time. But to put the team all the time in the good level is not easy. And we believe that we'll put again. We believe that we will do that. But one bad period can happen. But in the bad period is the best period when you can check where we are living and which people you have around you, who are, because when you are in good moments, when you are winning, when the people are smiling, are singing, and all the time give good things, talk good things about you. I'm not talking about just talk about me, about in general. You don't see the personalities, you don't see the persons, you don't see. I don't know who you are when I'm a relation, social relation with you, and between us is everything okay. So you are doing your job, I'm doing your job, everything is okay. I will know who really you are when one of us have a problem. So when I have a problem, I will know, like you, like a man, not a professional, I'm talking like a person, which person you are, because work is completely different. I'm not talking about the journalist, journalist must do your work, but I know exactly who you are. I know what kind of player you are, what kind of fan you are, what kind of supporter really you are, and what kind of chairman you are also, what kind of coach I am also. This is in the bad moments, and in this period, what I like it, and is my profile, and what I like it from my players, like I said in the last game, give a step in front, don't hide, give a step in front, because if you give a step in front and show your face, show your abilities and your personality, you will be better like a man. If you hide in this moment, if you don't want to play, if you do something, you are not realized like a man. You can be a good player, but you are not a man. And in these moments, we see the real man. This is why I appreciate a lot the fans in that after the game. I appreciate a lot the reaction of my players, and I appreciate, of course, the attitude of the chairman, because in this moment we see who really is a leader and who really is the people that show the face and give the face and never hide.
You mentioned there, you find out at a time like this, what kind of a fan you are, what kind of a player you are, what kind of a chairman you are. What kind of a chairman is Despon Chansiri? He's not the most public figure in speaking to the media. What can you tell us about him at a time like this? What is he like?
I will not talk too much because he don't like it that I talk about him. I don't want that he will be upset with me. So sorry, I will not answer your question because he don't like. I just talk because you asked me a direct question. He don't like too much that I talk about him in public. He's a very discreet person. He's a very serious person, and he don't like to talk. And I must respect him. Sorry about that.
For the last couple of years, you've continued a run of, I think the team were consistently getting about 16, 17 clean sheets, defensively quite strong. Have you made too many mistakes at the back in this season, and is that something that, how can you improve that if you believe that's the case?
No, we are. If you analyze our game, our goals that we take, we'll see that it's not. I must felt it's very strange goals. It was a penalty. Situation very strange, one or another game, mistakes that usually you don't do, free kick against Cardiff in the last minute, sometimes goals that we didn't take in the past. If you ask me, it's a collective process or collective mistakes. Most of them, unfortunately, is not the collective process. Sometimes it's individual situations that can happen, and we must live with these kind of situations. And we must try to correct the situations, of course. If you ask me if you are happy with the goals that we are scoring and the goals that we are taking, we are not. I think we must do better. We must be more consistent on the defensive organization, not defensive or goalkeeper, all the team. More efficiency on the collective organization, defensive organization, and we must score more goals because we're training a lot to score goals. So I think we must improve the both things a lot, in my opinion. I agree.
In terms of the health of certain players, just to get a quick check there, is Fernando Forestieri getting any closer to a potential return? How is he at the moment?
No, I talk with him all the weeks. It's long weeks to him. So it's a situation, as you know, is the worst surgery to a player. Is in that situation in the knee. I don't know the timings. What I know is doing very well. Is on the process with the steps that he must give is giving. So is everything okay? But we don't have a timing to back, because usually that surgery can be 6 months, 8 months, can be sometimes 4 months also. So we have some expectations that he come back in January, is my feeling. But I'm just telling about my feeling that in the new year we'll be with a new player. But I hope that can be a reality.
Sam Hutchinson, you said he missed the game last week because of illness. Does that mean he's back now for this game?
Let's see. Today training, in the middle of the training, come out. Is a player that is training, not training.
He's not had a setback or anything, has he? He's had this injury in the.
No, last week was about I guess gastro problem. Yeah. So he didn't training the 2 or 3 days in the beginning of the week. And this week he felt a little pain in the knee. He's training, but today he's just training off of the training. We don't know if tomorrow we'll be back okay or not. So he's a player that we don't have sure if he'll be ready to.
Glenn Leuven's suspended for this game. We assume that Joost van Aken will play, but is Venancio, is he a player who you could consider? Is he competing for a start in this team?
Yes, Venancio is a player that can play. Even I think, as you understand, Van Aken is a left foot, so we have a problem in the left side of the defense. So you have some advantage with Federico because he's the left foot. But Federico is a player that is ready to play. So far, Tom Lees is doing well. Is playing well. But one day that Federico will have opportunity, will play well, absolutely sure.
We've not seen that much from Jacob Butterfield since he joined on loan from Derby. What does he need to do in order to break into this team?
It's a good question. He's completely ready to play now, in this moment. He understands what we want. He changed a little the intensity of where the way that he play is play with more intensity, more aggressive, more changing the speed also. When he came here, it was with a little profile, different profile. He's involved in most of the games. He's just not involved in the derby because he can play, and the previous game because we'll not play against derby. So we decided in that game to don't put him to play. But he's completely ready to play. If he don't play Saturday, we'll play Tuesday. If don't play Tuesday, we'll play Saturday. So he's a player that will be involved in the games because in this moment he's ready to play.
There's a young player across the city playing for Sheffield United named David Brooks, who seems to be taking the Championship by storm a little bit this year. Is it time for this football club to try and find their version with George Hurst? You know, is it time that he was given the opportunity to develop and maybe achieve what David Brooks is achieving at Sheffield United?
I don't know about this situation. There are a situation that is out of my orbit in this moment about contract. So it's a situation that I can't talk too much about this because really I'm not inside that situation.
Is it frustrating at all, this situation though? I mean, he's such a talented young player. The fans often ask about him as well, and yet he doesn't seem to be featuring at all at the moment. Is that a bit frustrating?
No, it's not frustrating because he's not a player that is involved with us. So I'm the manager of the club, but I'm not a person to do contracts and to talk about this kind of things. So it's something that is completely out of my orbit. It's out of me. So it's something that is not in my hands. So I can't give opinion about that.
Sure. Is it disappointing though that a contract situation about a player who's not played much first team football is holding a young player back? I imagine perhaps when you were a young player this situation didn't really happen that often.
I think it is the modern football. This is a situation of exactly modern football in the bad way of the when we are talking about modern, because modern no means that the things are good. Sometimes the modern is a disaster. And this is the product of the modern football, in my opinion, this situation. But I must tell you that it's not in my orbit, so it's not working with us. So I can't talk too much about this situation because also I don't do contracts. I'm not involved in this kind of things. Okay.
Have you got any other injuries, Carlos? How's the rest of the squad looking at the moment?
No, it's everything okay. So you know. George Boyd is still is in good way also, but yeah, more weeks. So after this is everything training, and everyone is training very well.
What are you expecting from Barnsley? What have you got to look out for from them? What are their strengths?
No, it's a team don't play. Is one of the teams that don't play with too much pressure. Is the opposite. They have a young team. They have organized. It's a team that fight and run a lot. They have quality. They have a good side. They change a lot 1 year to another, and they still competitive like last season. And we expect a difficult game. Absolutely sure. Like I think that they will expect a difficult game to them. Of course, we play in Hillsborough. We are Sheffield Wednesday, and we want to show that we are Sheffield Wednesday.
You had a player sent off early last week, but how important is it that with it being a derby that again you keep your cool, that the players stay calm?
Yeah, they did. So we was with a big determination to win the game on last game. It was a big determination. I can feel it in the eyes of my players. I know very well my players. I can feel it. Circumstances of the game put us to play very soon with 10, but with 10 my players was brave. They was gladiators. They was organized. They closed very well the spaces. We create chances to score. We have similar chances like derby with a possible penalty, and unfortunately was not a penalty. But my players was brave in the game. They did what they must do, and they give a good signal, in my opinion, to this game. I hope that we can continue to do what we did against Leeds and what we did against Derby, because I think the profile of the game, attitude and quality was similar. Of course, understanding that we played 11 against 10, of course, and make a big difference, especially in the ball position.
Adam Reach was a little frustrated last week. has the time come where you've got to play him in one position to get the best out of Adam? Because you've played him at left back, you've played him at left wing, you've changed him from game to game, but for his consistency, his level of performance, have you maybe got to play him in one position? How do you see it?
I have 2 or 3 players that if we move them to the position, they will play in the same level, in my opinion. Rishi is one of them. I think I saw it in one of the, I don't know if it's Y Scout, and they give some points or something, that is the best left defense in the championship so far, like playing that position. I saw in the one of these analyzing programs. But when he play left back, he play the good level. When he play left wing, play good level. He play with us one game, I think last season, like a striker, I think in Cardiff. He play one game because we needed to play inside in the midfield, and he play in the same level. So he's a player that if he play in different positions, play all the time the good level. Because if you saw the profile of him, he's very similar of Keenan Lee. He's a player that run 12 kilometers, Keenan almost 13 sometimes. And more than this, he's a player that in the levels of high intensity, because this is not a marathon. Is a game that the quality usually comes from the high intensity, and is a player that in high intensity is the player that run more in our team. So he's a athletic player, is a player that fight and run, and they have quality. So him and 2 or 3 players, if they change the position, they will play in the good level.
When you signed him to play the left wing, didn't you? Because since then you have 2 recognised left backs.
Mm-hmm. No, in that moment we don't have. In that.
You do now, and so.
Yeah. But I don't understand.
What would you say to that? Just to people who think why you may be playing him out of position.
No, I don't play him out of the position. He can play left back. He play left back in Middlesbrough also a lot of games. He play also in Preston, and Preston play with the 3 central backs. He play on the left also, so it's not strange to him. So when we need to attack more and we need to put a player to go more deep in the attack and do the corridor on the left, is the best players that we have to do that. So if you need to play with more in defensive consistent, and maybe we can put Daniel or Fox. If you saw it, he play usually left back when Bannon play on the left side on midfield also, because it's not strange, because Bannon is not a winger, come more inside, and we need a player to do all the corridor. So he's the best player to do that. So I don't see here any kind of something different that all the clubs in the world do with the players. So depends of the circumstances, depends what you need. You can use a player on the back more deep. So sometimes I hear that we could play with three on the back and put the players on the side. So when Rich play on the left, we protect a little more the center, and we want our fullbacks play like a winger. So it's in that time that usually Rich play like a left back. When we need to do that, we put like a winger on the sides and protect the middle to play like a 3 central backs.
The chairman, he spoke to the players, he addressed them yesterday. What was his message? What did he say?
As you understand, is a conversation that was inside the room. It was to all of us, and I just can tell you that after the conversation, because it's normal, nothing will be like in the past, because any kind of conversation make an impact there, and the way that you talk make impact in all of us, of course, absolutely sure. But the subject of the conversation, as you understand, I will not talk in public.
Honestly, Gary Hooper's obviously scored a lot of the goals. How important is it for the rest of the team to back him up, so there's not too much pressure on him scoring the goal?
Yeah, I mean, his scoring is good to him to score. I think we have another players that can score goals. I expect that we can score more goals because, as you know, that you have we choose players and we bring players to Sheffield Wednesday, and I must tell you that when I do a team, it's not a secret, but I can tell you that I like to do a team like put my players and think all the time how my players can be aggression to the opponent. Since the goalkeeper, because he can do some aggression in positive way. How my fullbacks can damage another team, how my central backs can damage another team and score goals, how my midfielders can be try to score goals or be aggression and be a threat to the opponent teams, the wingers, the attacker or the attackers, or I manage and I try to do my team all the time like that. So when I try to do my team like that, I expect that most of the players, like in the first and second year, score goals, not just the strikers, because I want my midfielders try to score, wingers try to score, fullbacks can score. The central backs more in the corners, but they must be a threat to the opponents also. The goalkeeper sometimes can put in counter-attacks, like Westy do this often in counter-attacks, and we score goals also with the balls from Kieran. So I think when I put a team to play all the time, I think about this. So in this moment, Gary Hooper is scoring goals. It's good to us, it's very good to him, very good to us also. But I expect that another players from our team have ability to score goals, and I wait and I'm absolutely sure that we will score with the offensive dynamic that we have and with the players that like to do goals, and in the past they did goals, they must do goals also.
Why do you think they're not? Why do you think the midfield isn't coming up with as many goals, or why the centre halves aren't scoring as many from set pieces?
So, this is something I understand the question, but look, if you saw one by one, if you saw it, Ross Wallace scored goals, Rich can score goals, Kieran Lee scored a lot of goals, Bannon can score goals, Sam can score goals. We bring now Jonah Jacob Butterfield can score goals, Jonah score goals and already score. Daniel Fox also scored goals in the past, Jack Kent, Palmer. We have a lot of players that can score goals. Also in the free kicks, we training, and usually in the trainings we did very well with the free kicks. So Ross Wallace is a very good. He put the ball very well inside the net. Also Gary Hooper he shoots very well in the free kicks, and he scored a lot of goals in the games. We must change a little the ship, so the things one day will come to us, I believe, and we must try hard to put the things turning to us, because the things will not come from the sky. We must fight to the things, and we must push the things to us. We must do our job, but I believe that the things will come to us because we have everything here to be successful.
Carl, just a quick one. It's been over 8 years since Barnsley beat Sheffield Wednesday. Can you just explain what your feelings like in the dressing room at the minute? Are the players excited to play this derby on Saturday?
No, I didn't know. I don't know too much about numbers, I must tell you, but a derby is all the time a derby, so they know what means a derby. We talk about this often since we arrived here, what meaning a derby, special to the fans, and we have a lot of respect to the fans. And we will be ready to the game on Saturday. We'll be ready because we know, and we'll be focused because we know that they are not easy games, first, and second, a derby in the world. Usually, I say that they are not favorites in the derbies around the world, because there is a special environment, and with special environment, the emotional is very important. And when you have emotions in your body, you must control the emotions to try. Sometimes too much emotion and less emotion is not good. Is not good to this kind of games. You must be under control to be in the correct level to try to achieve what really we want, and we'll fight to the 3 points, of course, on Saturday.